It is CFFC 141 headliner Anthony Guarascio ahead of his main event matchup. It is on Saturday, April the 19th in Tampa. And Anthony, we got a lot to talk about. Let's just start there. Headlining, title shot, big opportunity early in your career, man. What's the excitement like? This feeling a little extra special than another fight?
I'll be honest with you, man. It surprises me that the excitement's not much there because it's funny that I'm now getting the title shot. I've watched Bailey fight for the past 3 years, weirdly enough, because he ended up fighting almost everybody that I thought I was going to have to fight. I thought I was going to have to fight bout. I assumed I was going to have to fight Velasco. I assumed I was going to have to fight these people. So every time I would look up somebody that I was going to have to fight, he had fought them. So I was always thinking in my head, man, if we had to fight this other guy, we'd be able to fight this other guy too, So I always kept it in my head. I thought that I was going to fight for the belt last September, back-to-back. I had hurt my hand. So I thought that I was going to fight for Cameron Kinzig for the belt. So that was going to be the fight, but I wasn't able to take that. So I was excited for that. And then after that, I was like, man, that'd be crazy after healing. I come back and I fight Bailey. I said, that would be crazy. I said, I'm sure they'll give me Cameron, because Bailey's in the Contender. And then after what happened to him in the Contender series, like, oh, man, that'd be crazy if it was Bailey. And it came across my desk, and I said yes, probably quicker than I've said yes to anything else. And it is what it is. It's fated in the writing for me. So
I was going to say, it sounds like destiny. So I guess you've been following this guy or watching the guy for a while, assuming. What's been your evaluation of him? I mean, are you impressed by what you see? Do you see like, oh, I love this matchup? What are your thoughts on Bailey?
Man, I like any fight because it gets me in there. I'm down to fight anybody. I told you last time. That's what gets you to the UFC title is fighting anybody, anywhere. I know that there's a smart way of doing that. I know that there's a dumb way of doing that. I don't want to come off as brash or cocky. I'm not very impressed with him in the sense that I know how it feels coming off of a loss. You really don't feel like the champion still. And it's almost like a curse. It was a curse for Velasco, and I feel like it's a curse for him. And I think if you go to the heights of the Contender series, which is still UFC competition, and you can't win there, you're not coming back to a worse opponent. You're coming back to the next guy going in those shoes. So you can't count me at any sort of low class opponent. I am the top person that's there. I'm beyond his of where he went to the Contender series. I belong past the Contender series because the Contender series is just another CFFC fight. It's Dana White's trial, and he's not too sure about you, so he don't want to put $1,000 on black. He wants to space you out a little bit throughout Contender series. He did it to Paul Torres Finney 3 damn times.
Yeah.
And he tried to make his point, but these guys are going out and they're not getting finishes. They're not doing what I'm doing. I beat the odds 3 complete times. I've submitted somebody. Someone told me I'd never submit somebody in my life. That was my first pro fight. And he's a jiu-jitsu coach. He runs a jiu-jitsu gym. So the last guy was supposed to be in the Contender series, Harbison. He was supposed to be in PFL. Everybody had their marbles in on him. I ended that shit too, out of a garage. I do nothing special other than me just being myself. I, unfortunately for the competition, am special. And I will believe that to the fullest. This fight, I know the outcome. I said the outcome of the last fight. I said it to who's the other? Locklear. Is it Locklear, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yes, I said it to him. I said, man, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to execute the plan to the extent to where he won't even be able to do anything he wants to do. And it's going to end, and I'm going to go for the title or who's next. And he told me, don't look past Harbison. Don't worry about the title. Don't worry about nothing. Just look to that fight. And I've already seen it.
All-American.
I've seen things. Mr. All-American, Mr. This. I brought my damn wrench just to show you I'm not going to have to be a plumber. Tattoos or not. And it is what it is. So I'm ready. I'm more than ready. I know that word was he didn't really want the fight. They wanted a little more options. It is, I'm sure, difficult taking a 3-0 stand-up and ground phenom after coming off a loss. So it is going to be difficult for him, but I'm excited. I'm hungry. I need to fight. I got a car outside I might have to push next week. And the UFC needs to be the heavyweight. We need to make that great again.
3 years.
You know, and there's 30 heavyweights, man. 15 unranked, 15 ranked. And 15 of the ranked probably need to get knocked off the board like Tapology anyway. So it is what it is. They ain't seen nothing like me. There ain't been a McGregor tear in the heavyweight division since Mike Tyson was boxing. So that's where that plays.
I love the spirit. I love that you're laying it out there. You talked about training in the garage. Talk about that situation. I mean, have you thought about changing? Or are you saying, hey, this is what works for me? I mean, are you looking at joining big teams or anything like that? Or is this just what works for you?
Right now, the UFC gym in Largo is allowing me to train in their cage. So we've been using the cage the whole time. I still don't even like it. I miss the garage, because you always have people watching and people are watching and people have opinions and things. And I work off of energy. I have the team I have the 4 weirdest cornermen. I have my girlfriend, my brother, my coach, and my wrestling guy. And they're all just my best friends and family. And I only have that because this is not a team sport. This is a one-man thing. This is a one-man journey, regardless of the team and of this and of that. Your team can believe what they want to believe. Nobody will believe in yourself more than you can believe. Only you can move the pinnacle. I'm not a basketball player or a football player because I can't pull that trigger and make that move. I do what I want to do because I control this. You control if you want to lose or win. You lose, that's because you suck. But it ain't because you just didn't put in the work or this and that. The bottom line is you are just not cut out for it. Everybody comes to the end of their reign and the end of their road, but you're just not cut out for it. It's not, oh, I had a harder life or I had this. I'm just meant to do this. I've done 100 things and I've never succeeded in any of them the way that I do this effortlessly. I go there and just do it. And it is the way it is. Garage, outside, in a car, daywalker in one. Daywalker in one.
I'm telling you, if this fighting doesn't work out, you might have a career as a motivational speaker, man. You got me ready.
I might, but if the career wasn't going to work out, God would have stopped me long ago. I don't see him inflicting any type of unnecessary pain unless I was meant to go through it and get something greater out of it. And the belt's mine anyway, you know. I mean, I've been homeless. I mean, not too long ago, I was homeless in 2021, 22. I came up off of that. I had to do some things to get money I didn't want to do. I had to go places I didn't really want to go. I met my coach, Tom. We started working out in his garage because he didn't have a gym. And we just did it there. We had no grappling the last 3 camps because the garage is the size of the office I'm sitting in. We had no grapple. We just, hey, the guy's going to take you down. You got to stuff him. And I tried to get wrestling at other gyms and things like that. And that's sort of what I do now. And now we have the room to wrestle now in the cage. But I'm in the works right now of just getting space back to something smaller so that it could just be me and my team again. I really don't even rarely spar with anybody else because I have nothing to do with anybody. What am I going to spar with? I really don't even spar with many heavyweights because there's no heavyweight that is going to teach me anything. Who is he? He's going to come at me hard for the first 30 seconds. I'm going to stuff his takedown and boy, he's going to huff and puff till he can't go no more. I like the 165ers, 205ers, 85ers, 95ers. Those guys are going to run you till you die. Even some of the 55, 65 guys, they can strike. You know, there's crazy strikers. Light heavyweights now are 6'4".
10 rounds.
You know? So me sparring 10, 12 rounds, coming back at night, sparring 4 more rounds, doing bag work. I'm just always working. I've been doing this. I've been doing it every single day for the past 4 years. I haven't lost in the past 3 years. I mean, I have nothing else. I don't have plan B. I don't have a job. I don't have anything. This is it. I don't have a backup. I don't need a damn backup. I don't want one. If you have a backup plan, you're unsure of where you're going. If you have 2 books, you must not be interested in the one you're reading. I like to read one damn book at a time. In my book, it just seems to be one that's written, it's definite, and it's my damn story. There's no curve in it where I lose. There's no curve where my stuff doesn't work out for me. It will work out the way. You will see me fight for the UFC title at one time. I'm not worried about the division. I'm not worried about the biggest guy, the baddest guy. They can't say who the biggest and baddest guy is. They ain't even seen me yet. And I ain't the biggest, but I am the baddest.
I love it. So how did this all start for you then, man? So talk to me how you started on this journey. Was this I mean, you started out, you did some kickboxing, you did some whatever. I mean, was this all just born through a need to make money and get off the streets, or was this something that you knew you liked and were interested in? Like, how did this whole journey start?
I think the first 3 fights, I was still working. So I was like, oh, this is fun. And I did the kickboxing, and I was doing real good in the kickboxing. The only reason I did the kickboxing is because my first 3 amateur fights in Michigan, I stomped back to back. I lost. And I even have a no contest way back in the day that it still haunts me to the day, because I had Darren Cruikshank in my corner. I had Cody Stamen in my corner. I had Jason the Fish Fisher. I had the baddest corner. I had the best team. I was going to Fight Club in Waterford, Michigan. I had Josh Burns training with me, some of the biggest heavyweights back then. Eric Prindle. It was a great thing for me, and I didn't take advantage. I got in the cage. I was still scared. I was worried to get hit, so I wouldn't really throw. And I took a knee up the center to my groin. It wasn't the hardest knee I've been hit with. It was a hard shot, but I could have got up, man. And just looking around, and I saw in the crowd, and I started to focus, and I saw some guys that were bullying me at school, and I saw some people that I was just worried to look bad in front of. So I milked the nut shot. I didn't get back up. I went to the hospital, and it haunts me to this day. And my first professional fight, when I said, hey, listen, we only got to fight for you back in Michigan, I said, man, that's what I got to do. And I took the fight back in Michigan. It was in the same room I got nut shotted in. It was at the same place at the same time. Different guy. They had the odds stacked against me. He was going to take me down. He was going to submit me. And even my uncle said, hey, Aunt, you got to watch his submissions. So as soon as I saw that he couldn't strike, and he kept shooting, and I was stuffing, and I looked right at my uncle on that final shot, and I looked my uncle right in the face, and I smiled, and I laid back on the guillotine, and he was out. And after winning my first pro fight, man, I sort of just quit the security job. I said, man, this has got to be, I got to go further than this. And I said, man, maybe we'll get CFFC for the second fight, and get out there, which, mind you, if I can go back a little bit, yep. I remember being at William Tarpley's fight, October of 20, I forgot, it was in the Hard Rock. And he fought that guy, the Jungle Man from PFL. And I remember before the show opened, you guys were all getting ready, and everybody was getting ready, and I hopped over the gate with a buddy of mine that was friends with Rob, and he picked up the belt, the Cage Fury belt, and he was looking at it. He was like, "Aunt, bro, look at this." And I walked over, I'm like, damn, is that the belt? And I looked at it, and I said, wow, man, it would be an honor one day to fight that. And I look at Rob, which my relationship with Rob today, it's funny to see that I was looking, and I was like, hey, Rob, and he sort of like, hey, what's going on? He's just on the move. And now, you know what I'm saying? He calls me every day. And, it was crazy that where it came, and everything I said inside and thought inside and told everybody was going to happen. I said that when I was done with the amateur stuff. I said that I was going to go. I've told by many people I'd never get a title shot in amateur because I wasn't experienced enough. I wasn't this and MMA and this and that. And I've always been told that I'm not enough, and it's not going to happen. They want to push me under the rug every time. They were going to push me under the rug last time. I guarantee you that the CFFC had on the final card Justin Harbison as the winner. And you want to know why? Because you may mess up Justin and Harbison, but you don't call another fighter the wrong nickname unless you had it pre-written on the card. They had him pre-written because they said Anthony Bad Idea Guarascio. So they already had him. It's easy to scratch out Justin and Harbison and put AG. It was stacked against me, and I knew I can feel in the room, but that's when I worked the best. It will not have. I've stacked together my whole life. I mean, I told you, I got a car I'm probably going to have to push to the Florida State Fairgrounds, but it'll be the last time I push a car. And I know they're talking about me. I know they're making fun and my camp and this and I'm not special and this and that. And that's okay. They can think I'm as funny and not special and this, but his crew and Kill Cliff, them all being around him and talking him up and all, that ain't going to help. It's not going to help. I'm going to send him back to landscaping or something else because he's not going to stand in my way. I have to eat the next day. He can go home and be okay, and he'll get in his King Ranch and he'll be okay. I won't fucking be okay. It's over from here. It ends then. It ends that night. Whether he wants to or not, he won't be able to go for the takedowns I know they've been drilling. He won't be able to take anything. As soon as I connect with anything, it's going lights down. It's over. It's over. And I'm doing it very viciously. I am not the same person I am right now that I am when I get in there. This is not a sport. You know, my coach told me today, we're going in there to fight, which means we know we're going to fight, which means if I don't stop punching him till the ref hits me, that's premeditated murder. I'm planning to hurt you till you go lights out. So they may think it's a sport or whatever. It's not to me. Right. This is collect and this is modern day gladiator. They put gloves on us instead of weapons because it's illegal to kill. But we're legally killing each other, possibly.
Savage. Absolutely savage. Where did you talk about nicknames being screwed up? Where did the Daywalker come from? Who gave you that one?
Bro, I'm a Marvel fiend, and I love Blade. My whole life, I love Blade. It was my favorite movie. Wesley Snipes was the best for that part, and I think Blade. I think Stan Lee always gave a goal to the superhero, and I think Blade was always meant to be the vampire fighter. He's half man, he's half vampire. He fights vampires, which suck blood. That's all they do. They suck from you. They suck from you. So me, I gotta be the Blade of the MMA world because I keep getting blood suckers and haters and all that. I'm just wiping that completely off the board. So if anything, I'm sort of a daywalker myself, and it just fits for me. It fit the way I feel that I go into that mode that he goes into when it's ready to eat, and that's it, man. I just feel like it's stuck, and everybody's sort of stuck with it. My coach loves it. I made my T-shirts. And everybody wears them, and that just stuck with me, man. That's just how I feel inside.
I love it, man. Well, listen, I mean, you made it clear. The ultimate goal is the UFC, a UFC belt. I mean, it's crazy because you still are very early in your career with short fights, right? But, I mean, you win this fight. You beat a guy that's coming off Dana White's Contender Series. Are you looking to say, hey, sign me up for this year's Contender Series? Or do you feel like, hey, I don't want to rush. I'm trying to develop. Like, what's the path for you with a big win here?
Yeah, I mean, I got word that I'm already on the list for the Contender Series, but I feel like that's just another CFFC fight. Well, I don't know why I would need a test from a guy that went in there, got tested. They're just going to give you another test. Oh, well, I'm going to finish him for. That's almost like getting a good fight out of me for cheap.
I can respect that. Man.
That's almost like you getting a heavyweight knockout and putting me on the division for cheap.
That's true.
I need a main event, or not a main event, but we need a fight night. We need to be in one of those big settings. It does not do. Why not give the people in a big setting a good heavyweight? Why wait and you put it on here and I start some guy who sort of wants it, but not really? That doesn't test anybody. That don't test me. You go out there, man. You give me $100,000. I'll fight whoever, bro. I'll fight Curtis Blades. You take Bailey out, I'll fight Blades. I'll fight Derek Lewis. I really don't care. When you get touched, it is going down. If you touch me, it just pisses me off. It's gonna inevitably happen. There's no sense in them taking the future and putting him up against a no-name again, and then I do what I said I was gonna do again. When Conor McGregor was in the shit, they didn't put him in the Ultimate Fighter first. They sent him right to the thing. Now, because there was a Contender Series, you got a series you could push me under the rug and save me for later till you're ready? Come on, man. The heavyweight division can't handle that. It needs to be treated like the presidency. We need to make heavyweight great again. You need to take me, you need to put me in there like a contract killer, and you need to clean your division out. Then maybe we can make that 30 list smaller. It could be 10 ranked, 10 unranked. And then when I make it to the ranked list, which won't take very long, you'll see, and you'll be like, damn, the whole time this guy. It will happen. It will, because I will make it happen.
I love it, man. You are bringing some energy to the table, that is for sure, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in the UFC, hopefully sooner rather than later. I guess the next step is CFFC 141. It sounds like when you play this thing out in your head, you're expecting something pretty violent. I mean, we're talking another quick finish once again.
If if Bailey Schoenfelder steps into the same cage that I am, if I'm not mistaken, that's what's happening. It's only inevitable that he is to get finished. It won't go another way. There's nobody that wants it more than I do. I don't care who this says they do. There's nobody that wants it more than I do. I talked my way all the way to the title. He doesn't know that. I know this. He doesn't know these things. I watch him all the time. I don't care what anybody says. I look just to look at him. I do this with every opponent. I look at them just to look at them, just to hate how good they're doing. I do it just to disgust and hate how good they're doing. And it angers me and angers me. And when he goes home to nice things and a nice meal, I sit in my garage and I stare and wait and count and count and count and cry and stare and wait and count and count and count and wait and wait and wait and wait. Finished. And then it's over. In 30 seconds, I wait. I do months and months and months and months. And I struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle day after day after day after day. 30 seconds. That's how it is. That's over. When you were a gladiator, you sat in prison and sat and sat and sat and sat, and then you ended. These guys living this nice shit, and they're doing these challenges, and they're giving out these little fucking appreciation gold medals, and they're fucking hugging each other and all that shit. It ends. That night it ends. It ends. Viciously it ends. I see his friends saying he's going to finish me however he wants. He hasn't finished somebody since he was fucking 21 years old. It's over. It's over. This isn't a fight. This is one career starting, one career ending. And his career wasn't even ending. It was just him pushing along because he couldn't do the football. This is it for me. I couldn't do anything. I'd be in fucking jail doing something illegal probably because God won't feed me easy. God feeds me this way. This is how I'm fed. I was put as a vessel to finish people. That's what this is for. That's what this sport is for. It's not for enjoyment and happiness and things. I'm going out there to hurt somebody's father or family member and go home and smile about it. And it will end that way. It will. And when I see him, I have nothing to say to him. I have no handshakes for him. I have nothing but pain for him and his family and his team. And I will put Killcliff to an end. I will put the special team to an end because that's all they are. They're just fucking special, and they got this and their nice little outfits and this and that. They haven't won in months, one of their fighters. And they've been in UFC 1 and Bellator, and they haven't won in months. It ends. It ends, John. It ends.
Man, if you weren't fired up for this fight before, you better be fired up now. It is Saturday, April the 19th, Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. If you can get tickets. If not, check it out on UFC FIGHT PASS. Anthony, I appreciate the time, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you showing notice. Thank you.